Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm continuing on from the installation video that I created earlier. What you're going to notice is once you've basically logged in and want to start to use some of the options, at some point you're going to have to open Chrome through the agent. So everything is done through your LinkedIn profile, which needs to be done through Chrome, but specifically accessing Chrome through the agent. So over here where it says open Chrome, you're going to click that for the first time, and it's going to basically launch a separate Chrome browser that you haven't used before. It's going to direct you directly to LinkedIn. So you're going to basically click sign in. And over here, you're going to put in your credentials. Oops. Let's hope I can remember my password. It's always a lot of pressure when you're doing a recording, trying to remember these things. All right, let's see if that works. Excellent. Okay, didn't want any additional verification or things like that. Thank God. I'll make this demonstration video much easier. All right, so we're basically launched into LinkedIn. I'll click save. That's fine. All right. What you're going to do is come over here in the top right-hand corner, and you're going to see the extensions option. Okay, so once you click the extensions option, you'll see Headhunters AI. I recommend that you pin this. So click the pin button over here. And I want you to put in, after clicking the extension, your credentials once again. So we're going to put in headhunters.vip, put in my password, and log in. All right, good. Basically logged in for the first time. So this is an opportunity to do a demonstration for the extension. Now, the extension is really important because this drives what we call hyper-personalization. Hyper-personalization is going to help you make more placements. The reason we use hyper-personalization is because if you see a generic spam marketing message directed at you, there's a good chance you're going to ignore it. Something like 99% of the time, you're just going to ignore it. However, if you see a personalized message specifically for you, you're just that more likely to click on it. Okay, so personalized messaging drives clicks, it drives attention, and it drives engagement. So what this will basically do is help you write personalized messages for your outreach to candidates. In this case, there's a few different options. We've got in-mail, direct messages, AI agency, and AI talent acquisition. You can see they're segmented into two parts. So script-driven messages. So script-driven messages rely more on script and have minimal input from AI. The AI messages are the opposite. So they're majority AI, minimal scripting. Now, which one you prefer is totally a matter of choice. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to do a script-driven message, but you're welcome to experiment and try different ones as well. So let's go ahead and do a script-driven message, in-mail or email. So this campaign name, I'm going to call it Civil Architect, Sydney. Preferred name, so we're going to go with my name. Your organization, so yeah, we're going to go with my agency, Headhunters. Recruitment firm. What did I say about typing while recording? It's easier said than done. All right, do you want to do a personal introduction? So you can click this if you want. Personally, I don't want to. Only because I think less is best when it comes to messages. If you're someone that likes to be a lot more thorough, you're welcome to do that. But for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to skip that. What are you recruiting for? So this is really about whether you're recruiting for one specific jobs, or sometimes you're reaching out to someone because there's multiple opportunities that they might be suitable for. In this case, I'm going to go for one specific job. So this is going to be a civil architect role. Do you want to include a job description? Yes, I think that is really important. So I've already written a job description here, so I don't have to bore you with my typing. I'm going to copy that here. You'll notice this is pretty short and firm. Okay, so working for a boutique design and build firm, you'll be the sole architect responsible for designing premium builds for private customers looking to build in and around Sydney. Okay, so just really short and sharp. You could write something more comprehensive and longer, but just remember, people's attention spans are short. All right, next, a brief sales pitch. So this is a remote opportunity offering 180K base plus super plus bonus potential. Fully flexible hours for an architect that gets the work done and is able to hit deadlines. All right, good. Again, you can add additional skills here. It will basically add more content to your message. Again, Some people like to be thorough. Feel free to use this option if you want. I don't like it. I prefer short and sharp. Okay. Call to action. This is really important. So, what exactly is it that you want from this message? In my case, I just want people to reply to me. I don't want to give them my phone number. Maybe for some roles I do, but for this particular opportunity, I just want the prospect, so this is the candidate we're reaching out to provide their availability to discuss the opportunity over the phone. Okay, so I didn't want to do that, but since it's one of the default options, let's go with it anyway. If you don't like any of these, you can always write your own message. Okay, so you can click don't do anything and always send message with whatever you like. So say we don't want them to apply via a link. Say we don't want them to provide their phone number. Drop me a line if you're interested at sales@headhunters.vip. Okay, or you can write absolutely anything you want. But we're not going to do that. All right, good. I'm going to put invite the prospect to provide their availability to discuss the opportunity over the phone. All right, and then we're going to click Save Campaign. It will say campaign created successfully. Now, whenever you're launching some sort of outreach, make sure you have selected the correct outreach campaign that you want to use for that specific campaign. Okay, so what I'm getting at is over time, you're going to create multiple campaigns. And if you're reaching out, for example, about the architect role, you want to make sure you've selected the architect campaign here. You might be recruiting, I don't know, a nurse in Melbourne. You could have a civil architect in Sydney, software developer in Singapore. Whatever you're using the agent to do your outreach for, okay, just make sure that aligns with the campaign on the extension. Otherwise, you might have a situation where the last campaign you created on the extension was the software developer in Singapore, and you're actually trying to recruit, in this case, civil architects, which I'll talk about shortly. And it's sending out messages about, a role in Singapore, and it's going to really confuse your candidates. So again, really important. Make sure that you select the extension you want for the specific outreach you're doing in the agent. Okay, so that's a quick overview of how to do the extension. This will drive hyper personalization. I'll give you a quick idea of how it works. So if we go architect, civil, if you want to manually use it just to test it, we could just go people. All right, so we got Amin. Okay, I recommend always do a good refresh, reload. Bring up the extension again, and you can click compose if you just want to manually test it to see what it's like. Okay, so within a couple of seconds, it's written a personalized message. So it says, hi, I'm in, so it knows the person's name. Open to new opportunities. The team here at Headhunters Recruitment Firm wanted me to contact you directly as you'd make an amazing addition to our organization as a civil architect. Okay, so look, it's a good thing we've done this test here because this doesn't make sense. I'm a recruitment firm, and it sounds like I'm reaching out to him to join my recruitment firm rather than my client. So I'm glad I did this. What I'm going to basically do is we're going to go home. We're going to click the campaign, and we're going to edit it. So at some point, I must have made a mistake. Aha, here. Recruiting on behalf of your organization. That's not my organization I'm recruiting. I don't want them to join Headhunters. Okay, we don't do architecture here. We're going to click client's organization, and we're going to put the name of our client. So we're going to call it Sid Built Projects. That's our client. All right, so we're going to save that again. All right, good. Again, I always recommend you do this. It is so important because if you don't have the right personalization set up, it's going to affect your engagement. So we're going to click compose again. All right, hello, Amin. Your profile is a perfect match for our client, Sydney Built Projects, as they're on the lookout for to fill a civil architect role, which I'm confident you can excel in. Now, this is where you see the personalization. So I'm impressed by your diverse experience in architecture and construction project management. Your current role at freelance, at previous role at self-employed. Okay, so that's not a very good example. This guy does not have a good LinkedIn profile. Let's go do another one. Let's do Christina, sorry. So the hyper-personalization, again, can only be as good as the profile. In that case, that candidate probably wouldn't have been selected to go through. He doesn't really have any proper work experience. But if we look at Christina, okay, she's actually been an architect, so that's going to be much better. So let's try that again. Compose. All right, hello Christina. Your profile is a perfect match for our clients, Sydney Built Projects. They're on the lookout to fill a civil architect role, which I'm confident you can excel in. I'm impressed by extensive experience as a lead architect at, oh, I can't even pronounce that, and previously at Altus Architecture. So what it's actually done is it's using ChatGPT to scan the profile and actually include some personalization here. Okay, so it says having over 1 year experience in your current role and over 2 years in your previous role showcases your dedication. So now it's going to go into basically the script. Now you can manipulate this as much as you want. Okay, if this doesn't sound right, you can go back and edit it as we did earlier. All right, and it says this is a fully remote role, so that was the sales pitch, and over here is the call to action. So if you're interested in learning more, I'd love to discuss this opportunity further with you. Please provide me your best availability for a confidential call. All right, so that's basically the script-driven message. Again, a lot of the content here is driven by what you put in, and there's minimal personalization over here. If you don't like this, if you think it's too generic and not personalized enough, you can basically do a script-driven message. So while we're doing it, let's have a look at a script-driven message, an AI-driven message, and you can compare it to a script-driven message. So over here we have AI agency and AI talent acquisition. Talent acquisition would be if you're an internal recruiter, like working in an HR team. We're an agency. We're going to click agency. It's going to give you this disclaimer. Just click create. Campaign name. So Civil Architect Sydney. And we're going to call this AI. Type of English you want to use. Let's go with Australian. Your name, Maurice. Your recruitment agency's name. So Headhunters Recruitment Firm. The role you're recruiting. So it was Civil Architect. Do you want to include your client's name? You know what? Let's go with no. And opportunity summary. Just copy this whole thing. All right, you'll notice here I've only got one word left. So there's a limit on how much information you can feed into the AI, and that's for a few reasons. Number one, less is best when it comes to AI. It will spit out much better messages when it has less information to work with. Secondly, concise. You want your messages to be short and sharp. Call to action, we don't have any generic ones here, so I might put here, please provide your best availability for a confidential phone chat. Okay. Now it doesn't basically. This isn't a script that it's going to read out, so we need to actually give the AI instructions. So perhaps we want to rewrite this. Please get the prospect to provide their best availability for a confidential phone chat. So it's less of a script and more of an instruction to the AI. Okay, the feedback section. So if you're doing some of these messages and you notice they're a bit off on some of them, you can feed the AI feedback so that it doesn't continue making that mistake or it goes in the direction that you prefer. So we'll save this campaign. Campaign created successfully. Again, going back to what I said earlier, make sure you're selecting the one that you want. Okay, so in this case, it's selected the AI one. And we're going to generate that message again. What you'll notice here is AI messages take longer to generate. So the script-driven message was about 2 to 3 seconds. This one, it says up to 20 seconds. I find the first one, which we're doing now, can take up to 20 seconds. But once it's done one, they're probably anywhere between 8 and 12 seconds on average after that. Okay. Again, I didn't hit the refresh button. Sometimes if you find it gets stuck, just do a reload and it should be fine. So let's compare this message now. So hi Christina, this is Maurice from Headhunters Recruitment Firm, a recruitment agency specializing in architectural roles, representing a client who is searching for a talented civil architect to join their team. Okay, so I'm impressed by extensive experience in the architectural field, having been a lead architect at, again, I can't pronounce that, for over 1 year. Prior to that, your role as a lead architect at Altus Architecture for over 2 years showcases your strong foundation expertise. Your tenure at these esteemed firms demonstrate your commitment and proficiency, making you highly regarded in the industry. The opportunity that we have at our client involves working for a boutique design and build firm. You will be the sole architect responsible for designing premium builds for private clients around Sydney. Your current role as a lead architect aligns seamlessly with the responsibilities of the civil architect position, where your skills and experience can truly shine. So you can see this wasn't part of the script that I provided because I didn't provide a script, I provided information, and the AI is personalizing it. And over here for the call to action, could we schedule a time for a confidential phone chat that suits you? Please share your availability. So again, I don't know which kind of message you like. There's not much you can do with this one. You either like the AI or you don't. At least with the script one, you can always go back and you can basically adjust it. So I didn't think it read very well, this part here, so I could change the introduction to the job description as I see fit. Likewise, let's just say I wasn't happy with how the AI did the call to action. At least with the script-driven messages, you can basically input here exactly what you want it to do each and every time. All right, so that's a quick introduction into the different extensions. So this is part 2 from the installation. I've shown you how to basically launch Google Chrome through the agent, log into your LinkedIn profile, and basically set up your extensions. Again, it's so important. Please, before you use the agent and mass reach out to like 500 people, please, please, please make sure, number 1, you've created a campaign. Number 2, test the campaign and make sure you're happy with the message. And number 3, if you're not happy with the message, experiment with the different types of messages we have. If you find the AI-driven messages, they're good 50% of the time, unpredictable the other 50%, go to the more script. If you find they're a little bit boring and redundant, spice it up and try some AI-driven messages. Either way, these will increase your engagement. No one likes to get generic spam that could have been sent to 500 people. It's that hyper-personalization that we offer. I won't do too much information on this, but we've added a new feature. It's in the beta stage. I might do a separate video on this later. But we designed this to be purely for recruitment. That's slightly changed now. We now offer a sales option. So if you click on that sales option at the top, you can actually put some information about a product or service you're offering, and it will continue to do that hyper-personalization as well. So you can actually use this not only to recruit, but also to do business development for you if you're a recruitment agency, or even if you're not in recruitment and you're selling products or services, you're more than welcome to try the sales. I've used it. I've had good results with it. I haven't scaled it and done hundreds of messages yet, so I'll come back and do a separate video on that. But I'm quite happy with this. I'm finding the quality so far in the few messages I've sent is just as good as recruitment. So again, thank you very much for watching this video, and I wish you all the best. As always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments section on YouTube or send us an email directly via our website. Thank you very much and happy recruiting.